Let us understand more on material management. So, material management is nothing but it is the central item and the activity of any organization. In the organization, it exists and work for material. Organization will always exist only with when the um, when all the activities work efficiently. So material is becomes the central item, and the main purpose of all this to work for the profit of the organization. The International Materials Management Society takes a lead role in looking for activities in this field. So, organization materials are nothing but the material planning. mm, Whenever we talk of any materials that are regarding to the organization, as a raw material, as a as a product, we require to ensure that the management is effectively working on it. So it has to be planned in the beginning, and purchasing has to be done at the right time, and procurement has to be finished, and the quality has to be inspected continuously. Then it has to be stored. So whenever it is stored, inventory has to be done. It is to say that it is to take proper accountability of how how it was possible to keep this materials in stock, and what is its lasting ability, how much of how much is sufficient for the coming months, and what is the way to issue the procedure for that, and how the maintenance has to be done, how repairs have to be taken up in case if it has to be if the stocking place requires any such renovating or inspection. This has to be done so that all the information is handy for effectively managing the material management. So what is the effect of that material management? It has got some objectives that are laid in order to see that the a purchase has happened at the right time with low rates, so that it benefits the organization. Keeping the department expenses low, it helps in avoiding recurring expenses further, and development of good suppliers and maintaining the good relationships is very important with the suppliers. It should always have a good track record and good relationship, so that it will not harm for either procuring or dispersing. It has to become very viable to both the parties participating in development of new materials and products, and it is economic make or buy. So once that economic buy has happened, it needs to be standardized, and standardization should set some benchmarks for the quality, and also it should match with the regulations of rules and regulations with respect to the government. And it should not trespass any rules. So the product will always have the possibility of improvement over time. That has to be focused, and interdepartmental relations has to be maintained in a very good capacity, and regulating the inventory. Always inventory needs to be regulated so that there is no scarcity at any point of time. So it affects any of this upkeeping been has shown any any shortfall. It will always not help in business, it affects in fact the business changes, balancing and achieving whatever the objectives are designed for. So there are several functions which are performed by the materials management. So management that owns the responsibility to take care of materials has to ensure that make or buy has to be done with the proper uh, mm, properly, and to in order to do that, proper facilities has to be organized, and quality calculating what are the quantities for scheduling is very important, and right time of ordering the materials have to be done. Then if coding has to be done, distribution of the material will have to be done at the right time, and inventory activity is one thing which will always help in balancing many of these activities intact. So while doing this, safety has to be thoroughly ensured so that no material or or any of the organization activities to hamper, and the movement of the material has to be ensured through cost effectively, as well as with less labor, fuel and time. Cost estimates have to be prepared, and standard components have to be continued to be using so that it helps in maintaining the quality. Supplier development has to be done, guiding the design decisions and introducing the new materials as possible. So manager has lot of responsibility in understanding the process of inventory, how it happens, as it is a continuous pressure to keep the stocks on, and it also processes the evaluation of that and responsibility of all phases of material management, such as purchase, material movement and storage. All these are the functions which have to be effectively done by the manager to ensure that it is all in place. So he should be effective in work, and also successfully he should see that the manufacturing process is on, and production control is also an important parameter. So this is how it is possible to see that all the inventories are inventories and effective working condition is brought about. So with this it is discussed to see that material management effectively works.